Hello again. This is Math 0465, and this is Quiz 4, Reflections and Solutions. Problem number 1, you were given y equals f of x is equal to negative 2 times the whole of x minus 3 whole squared plus 5. As you know, this quadratic function opens downward, and in fact is given in the vertex form. And so the vertex can be identified by inspection, and it's going to be the ordered pair 3, 5. Problem 2, the same quadratic equation, but the question is different. You were asked to identify the xy coordinates of the y-intercept. As you know, the y-intercept happens when x is equal to 0. So if you set x to be 0 here, you get minus 2. And when you put 0 in here, you get minus 3 squared, which is 9. That's minus 18 plus 5. And so f evaluated 0 is minus 13. And so the xy coordinates of the y-intercept are 0, minus 13. Problem number 3, we're dealing with the same function yet again, but now you were supposed to find the exact xy coordinates of the x-intercepts. Now the x-intercepts happen when y is equal to 0. And so we put y in for 0 and we solve for x. We subtract 5 from both sides. We divide by the negative 2. We get 5 over 2, or 2.5, is equal to x minus 3 whole squared. We take the square root of both sides. This side is plus or minus the square root of 2.5, and this is x minus 3. And so you add 3, and so you get x is equal to 3 plus the square root of 2.5, comma 0, or 3 minus the square root of 2.5, comma 0. Question 4 dealt with the same nonlinear function again, and this is a graph of it. There's the vertex, and I guess we haven't, I don't know if we found that already. And so we know that the range is the set of the y values visited by the graph. So this is y is less than or equal to 5. This is problem number 5. Again, the same function. I said, what is f evaluated when x is minus 2? So you substitute minus 2 into the function. So f of minus 2 is minus 2. Put minus 2 in here, you do the order of operations, getting minus 5 squared. This is minus 2 times 25 is negative 50, plus 5 is a net of minus 45. That should have been your answer for this problem. Number 6, the problem told you that the cost per container varies inversely with the number of containers manufactured. Inverse variation means that C is equal to a constant divided by N. And so plugging the data that we have in, it is 125 when N is 4,000. That means we can solve for K, and we get K is 5,000. And that means the general formula is that C is equal to 5,000 over N. Now the question asks you, what is the cost per container when you manufacture 5,500? And so you plug N to be 5,500 in here, and you get 0.91 as your answer to the problem. Here was a z-score problem. Now you had to be mindful of the units and change feet to inches to do this problem. So the mean height was 510, which is 70 inches, because 5 feet is 60 inches. So x bar was 70 inches S. The standard deviation was 2.8 inches. And the value we're doing was talking about an adult who's 5 feet 8 inches tall. And so that means that 5 feet, again, is 60 inches, so that's 68 inches. Now the z-score formula, which you should commit to memory, is z is equal to x minus x bar all over s. And so that's x minus x bar, which is negative 2 over 2.8. And you get, this is negative 0.71. Number 8, you have to evaluate this expression and simplify. And so 16 is 2 to the 4th, And so if you raise that to the 3/4, you get 2 cubed, or 8. And 2 to the 0 is 1. And so it's 8 minus 1, or the answer to this should have been 7. Number 9 was another evaluation. This was using negative exponents. So 2 to the minus 3 is 1 over 3 squared, or 1 over 9. And 2 to the minus 3 is 1 over 2 cubed, or 1 over 8. So it's 1 over 9 minus 1 over 8. You need a common denominator here. The common denominator across those two is 72. So this is 8 over 72 minus 9 over 72 is minus 1 over 72. Should have been your answer. Here you had a formula. You were supposed to substitute these values in, and so that's what I did here. So this is 3.5 times 10 to the minus 11 times, this was 7 times 10 to the 5 whole thing squared, all divided by 7 times 10 to the 4th. So this is 3.5 times 10 to the minus 11. You square both of these, so that's going to be 49 times 10 to the 10th. And you add the exponents here, and you could get minus 1, and you do the calculation. You have a 10 to the 4 down here. You have a 10 to the minus 1 up here. When you put it in scientific notation, this is 2.45 times 10 to the minus 4. Here we bought a piece of candy, a candy bar, I suppose, that cost this many yen. And we use this conversion factor to change it to dollars. And so we get that is 4.35, and there is some change there, dollars, some extra decimal points. And I said that you had $5, so if you paid with $5, how much change should you get, US? And you should get 64 or 65 cents. I counted either one of those right. Number 12, you have someone wanting to carpet her bedroom, and the dimensions of her room were 10 by 11. Now that means that 10 feet by 11 feet is 110 square feet to carpet the room. But the carpeting is being sold per square yard, and you have to buy a whole number of yards. And so a conversion factor that you should know from area is that since a yard is 3 feet, I think I told you that, a yard is 3 feet, so this is 3 feet by 3 feet, so a square yard is 9 square feet. So you take this is a dimensional analysis problem, 110 square feet times 1 square yard per 9 square feet. You get this is 12 and change square yards. But she can only buy a whole number of square yards, and so she has to buy 13 square yards. So 13 square yards times $7.50 per square yard gives you an answer for this problem of $97.50. In closing, I've given you quite an opportunity to get a C or better in this course, which is what is required. Again, I've offered to give you a grade no lower than you earn on the comprehensive mandatory final exam. If you don't take the final exam, you do not get the C or better, and you do not move on to college level math, but otherwise, there's a great opportunity for you. These are the problems that I told you were in scope for the final exam, and or the topics anyway. And so I think there's 15 problems, and you have 110 minutes. So you're taking this in the brick and mortar testing centers. If anybody has any accommodations, you should be letting me know that you intend to exercise those. But time is short. This is to be done in the next week, and it is deployed already there as announced. Take care.